Hey everyone, how you doing today? Thought I'd take another look at the workshop and see what was out there, and a lot of very, very cool creations to check out again today. One creation I did have a problem with, though, and it said it right in the description that it was for Reforge Eden Atlantis only, which I do not have that. So I got it here just to show you the results of trying to spawn that into Reforge Eden 2. Not good, so I'm going to take a look at that specific creation next week once I get that scenario. So I can properly show it. I didn't realize it was going to do what it did to the creation. We're not there yet, though. I'll show you that in a little bit. So the very first creation today is the Re2 Callister Frigate by Kahrek. And really cool looking ship here. I believe this is kind of based around combat. I'm seeing quite a few weapons and things on it. Really cool design, though. I kind of like how the front of the ship kind of goes down. It also provides like landing gear opportunity there. It's got that frigate look to it, space frigate look to it for sure. So I think the name's very appropriate too. Checking out the blockwork and the color scheme, that all looks really good too. It's kind of a mid-tone blue with some white and dark accents to it. Over here, texturing looks really good on it. The overall shape and presence look really good too. Definitely like that. This is pretty unique front end to the ship here. Obviously, we got a bridge up there. I was just kind of checking out some of this other stuff going on in here. Again, quite a few weapons on it. So I definitely think it's going to be more of a combat ship, but it could be an all-rounder too. I'm not sure yet. Like this back area here too, with the decal pieces there, kind of reminds you of something you see on like a real sailing ship or something like that in the real world. Definitely very cool there. Let's see what's going on the bottom here. So we do have a X. I think that's going to mark the spot. It's probably for some upgrades. A lot of builds will have a lot of upgrade potential to them. And I wouldn't doubt this is the case here. Maybe. We'll see. Once we get on the inside here, we'll take a good look around and see what's actually happening. In fact, I got to find a way on board here. I probably passed by a couple already. Unless that's what this X is for. But I don't think so. That looks like written blocks there. I was wondering if that was a ramp or something. Let's look around other parts of the ship here. No, wait a minute. No. Oh, the ladder. Oh, check out the ladder. I think that is our boarding ladder there. Just on the one side, too. So kind of asymmetrically placed part there. Here, I'm going to adjust the lights, and then I'm going to get up in there, and we'll take a walk through the ship here a minute. Here, let's get out of God mode here. Alright, so this gets you right to the bridge. There's probably another way to get aboard this ship as well. I wouldn't doubt it. It's just I missed it. Sometimes they're pretty sneaky there. So yeah, we got our pilot seat. Got a nice first-person view out the front window here. Yeah, it's kind of a neat setup there. We do have a blast door here, so a little bit of protection going into the rest of the ship. I already got a shower to get rid of some rads. And let's take this corridor here. Wow, this goes like right through the ship. Looks like we got a storage controller or ammo controller there. And here we go. Here's a bunch of part upgrade information. Talking about generators and shields and all kinds of stuff, which is really cool. Again, this is really helpful for people getting a build off the workshop, and they kind of have an idea of what's going on. Trying to figure things out on your own can be problematic. Sometimes, especially when you got like labels and things and no one knows what they mean. I've run into that problem myself on some of my builds too. So that's really cool. I definitely appreciate all the authors that are willing to take the time to do all that to make it better for people grabbing your blueprint. That's really cool. So yeah, up in here too, we got a box, we got a fridge, another box over there, armor locker, O2 and a med bay, small constructor. So yeah, and we got essentially this is another bridge, more of a further back from the front. So this would be a safer like combat bridge, I would say. on the ship. But other than that, it looks like there's no other interior space here. So now I'm really thinking this is really more dedicated to combat, more than I thought it was even. Unless I missed a corridor or hallway or something here, but I don't see any other place where it goes. Let me just walk back again and see if I missed anything. Yeah, I don't think so. I'm all the way to the front of the ship now. All right, so what we're gonna do now, I want to see what's inside this. So I'm gonna God mode through the hull here a little bit and see what's happening on the inside. So it looks like, yeah, we got some Xeno walls in here. Our main shield, warp drive. We've got some additional shield parts, quite a few of them. Looks like some medium and small shield parts. Our generators are in the back, and it looks like it's using quite a few of the smaller ones. So the 1x3s, and then we got a 1x2 in here as well. And then our CPU cores are on the back of the ship. And it's protected too. There's like another block. You got your outer hull layer here, and then there's another inner hull layer in here. I wouldn't doubt, if I could see them, which is going to be a little hard to do without removing blocks, that they're a stronger block as well to protect those cores. Kind of like the Xeno blocks that we've seen in other areas around the interior here. So flying through to the front area. Okay, so we're kind of underneath that hallway that we first came in on. And yeah, so the ship is right to the point, really. And I would definitely say it is a combat ship. If it was going to have like hangar and farms and big production area and stuff like that, I would say it's more of a all-arounder. But no, how it's set up, it's definitely set up for combat. So that is really, really cool. Let's take a look at some numbers here. So unlock level 25, size class 1, 29 forward, 22 strafing, 33 lift, 29 reverse, 20 down, 8 fuel tanks, 2 oxygen tanks. It's running 11 laser turrets, or light laser turrets, 10 plasma cannons, also the light range, and a long range radar. So it's got a real long range radar that's not a deco part on it. 7 hour and 30-minute build time. It's certainly looking like it's not going to be above core 7 by not seeing certain parts that it would need for that. So CPU wise, it's sitting at tier 1, 620,000 CPU. That is going to translate to a core 7. So 2 basic, 2 improved, 2 advanced cores. Shield strength stock on the ship is 64,422. So yeah, quite a lot of shield as well. Again, that's going to go hand in hand with being a combat ship. I'm just going to turn on some of these P menu options here for turrets and manual weapons. Looks like the radar is already on. Storage wise, so we got an ammo controller at 200. Actually, 2 ammo controllers at 200K each. So 400K of ammo storage. I think beyond that, we've got some sort boxes and things like that. Nope, not the loot and salvage. Also another 320K storage container. So that so loot and salvage. I wouldn't doubt that's a salvage controller. In case you add in like a multi-turret or something to this to do some salvaging after you blow the things up in space. You can grab all their loot and whatnot. So yeah, it's very to the point. It is a combat ship designed to blow up stuff, gather the loot from it, and move on to the next victim. So yeah, it's really, really cool. Really cool. Well thought out. Definitely also like the option of information for people that would sub the creation, so they kind of know what's up with upgrading it. Yeah, very, very cool build here. So again, this is the Re2, well, this is the official name, Re2 Callister Frigate by Kahrek. Very, very cool build there. Alright, so going on to the next build here, we got a SV, it looks like. And this is the Devon, or I want to say this a little more eloquent. It's the Devon by Barefoot and Hillbilly. And this is a really cool looking craft, I gotta say. I love this cockpit setup here, the way the glass is and the blockwork around it, and also the whole body and shape of it is really cool. Definitely Star Wars based. Again, I'm pretty sure. Some of these thrusters and stuff kind of remind me of certain ships I did see in past Star Wars movies. Again, I'm still haven't caught up on all the Star Wars shows and movies out there, so I'm kind of behind the times on it. But it certainly fits. Looks really good. Love the texturing style on it too, and these how this angled this whole front of this thruster looks just really, really cool the way that's set up. Look at the, yeah, even with the block work in there, with the conjunction of the, like the flames or the exhaust you get from the thruster, that actually makes this part look better too. That's really neat. That's a cool looking front of a thruster assembly there. And then the back, yeah, very Star Wars-like. I like these long rails that were added in there. I've seen that in some Star Wars ships before too. I keep on thinking, maybe I got this wrong, but there's like a Y-wing that I think this would be, well, loosely based on, but this is probably an actual ship in the show that I just didn't see yet. But it's, yeah, really, really cool. I like these little details too. Like, I don't know what that is, but it looks cool. You know, it's like this kind of stuff. It's techie stuff, like some antennas or something like that back there. Really, really cool look, though. Again. Yeah. Oh, I like this this nose light here, too. It's not a real light. It's just a texture light there. And then, of course, the way this whole hull here is kind of rounded off and curved, similar to that of the thruster housings as well. And then you got these other sections here kind of go into the thruster housings, but like almost like another part in itself. Now it looks like it would be some kind of weapon launcher or something along those lines. But not so much off the back. It almost looks like that could be a thruster with some exhaust as well. Yeah, very, very cool. Very cool build here. Yeah, just cool colors too. That really works for it. It's kind of, you know, again, it's not a rusty thing, but well, kind of a little bit. It looks worn. It looks used, which is a really, really cool look. I think that adds a lot of detail as well to a build. So, all right, let's get aboard here and see what's happening on the inside. Let's go a little bit darker. Really wish I had a little bit better control on the lighting on the planets. You're either too light or you're too dark. There's not much in between. So yeah, looks like we're gonna check out the bridge here first. So we've got spots for yeah, 2 passengers. So you get yeah, you get Chewie in there, and you get yeah, someone else too. And then the pilot setup over here, that's really cool. I like all the extra visual effects around the cockpit here with the LCDs and deco items and things like that. And yeah, really cool on how you're walking through here too. It's, again, it kind of feels like you are in a vehicle, almost like, yeah, just, yeah, it looks really good. A lot of texturing going on in here. We got another couple more passenger seats and back over here too. Love the table. That's cool. That really works for the small block design too. That part there and how that table is set up. It looks like a table. And it's just a single block, one of the newer blocks that were added to the game. But yeah, that's really cool. A bunch of a couple of fridges over here, storage controller, 3 sort boxes there, another one there, a detector. Kind of neat too. You got the glass off this side, but not the other side. So yeah, there's some other asymmetrical aspects going on in here. And back in here, it looks like we're getting into places for some more parts. Another storage controller. Got a compact shield right here. More room for stuff, and I'm sure, yeah, there's a lot of parts that would fit here. Shield parts or generators or whatever you might need. So it's nice having an open spot here, or maybe, I don't know if you're going to get a warp drive in here or not. It looks close. I don't think quite. I don't think the warp drive would quite fit there. At least with this row of CPU blocks there. But other than that, I think it would. Well, 1, 2, 3, 4. No, it would. I'm mistaken. A warp drive would actually fit here. For some reason, it looks smaller than I thought, but it is 5 blocks long, 2 blocks tall, 3 blocks wide. Yeah, you you could put in a warp drive here. So I don't think it has one stock, but you could add that for sure. Again, really, really cool visuals here. Very immersive again. It's something I really like with a lot of the builds this author has been making. The interiors are so immersive, and they feel the part for what the ships are designed to be, and that is really, really cool. Very detailed too. All right, let's try to get some reasonable sunlight going on in here, and let's look at some numbers here. You know, there is a way in. Yeah, okay, so there's a boarding ramp on both sides there. Okay. For some reason I came in one side. I wasn't sure. The last build only had like a ladder going on one side. Alright, so unlock level 15, size class 1, 124 forward, 17 strafing, 37 lift, 124 reverse, and 25 down. So yeah, really snappy going forward and reverse on this ship. Got 3 fuel tanks, 3 oxygen tanks, 1 light Gatling turret, and we have a detector. Really inexpensive to bring this in. 58-minute, 38-second build time, not requiring anything special. You're going to need some optical bridges for the CPU cores, but that's about it. Not too much else going on there. CPU-wise, really low there too. Using 10,872 out of 15,000. Translate to a, let me sort this before I say numbers, to a Core 5, so 2 basic, 2 improved CPU cores. It does have a shield on there, 5,205, stock shield strength. Let's see, anything else on this page? Not really. Let's take a look at your storage. The Devon. Sorry. No, I'm not exactly sure how I should say that word, but Devan, or it just sounds just more like it if I say it's the Devon. Sorry. I probably, this is probably a real ship in one of the Star Wars shows or movies, and they probably said the name, and I just butchered it. But it's got more than 5 letters, so I usually butcher most words with more than 5 letters. Anyway, it's got an ammo controller at 742. It has a cargo controller at 625. We have quite a few storage boxes in there, so 4 of those. I usually call those sort boxes because you usually will label them as something, maybe ammo or weapon ammo or armor or something like that. A couple fridges and a pentaxi tank for that shield in there. And obviously you can add a warp drive to this, plus some more generators or other whatever parts you feel like putting in there. So you can soup it up a little bit there as well. And then we do have our drone defense turret up on the top here. So yeah, very, very cool build. Again, this is the Devon by Barefoot and Hillbilly. This is another well, I don't know. It didn't really say. Obviously, I'm looking at this in RE2, but I think this would be a, well, hold on. With the CPU cores, no, it would be an RE type of creation, I think, RE2. You don't put this setup in a vanilla build necessarily. Although it might work. Maybe it would work that way as well. But vanilla, usually it's just 1 basic, and then you'd go to 2 improved cores. But if you had the improved cores, you wouldn't need the basic core. So, yeah, I think this is more set up for RE or RE2, maybe both. Yeah, very, very cool build here again. The Devon by Barefoot and Hillbilly. Awesome addition to the collection. Huge collection now of Star Wars-based creations. Definitely love those. All right, let me power you off. And then we're going to go to the next build here. I think I got this in order on my little sheet on the side. So this one here is also kind of Star Wars related. This is the Tai Inquisitor by Braganator. And this is a very dark creation. In fact, hold on, can I get light going on any better than it is? Not really. So it's very dark. So I'm going to turn on my flashlight here a minute. So we can look at the hull work here a little bit better. But this would, yeah, when it's dark out, this thing's going to pretty much disappear like it's a stealth craft, which is really cool. So yeah, I'm loving this this cockpit here. It's interesting. It's got a double layer of glass on the front of it. You can see that you got the square glass in the back, and then there's a round setup in there in front. So that's going to be double your glass hit points. I wouldn't doubt this is probably the better glass too to start with. Is he going to tell me that? Not really, but I'd have to look at the glass hit points for SVs on that model. But I'm pretty sure it is the better glass. So beyond that, yeah, look at I don't know the exact term that these side pieces are called on like TIE Fighter line of creations. I think there is a term for that, but this one's got some really big ones on it. But it is a larger TIE Fighter. Well, based on TIE Fighters. It is definitely a bigger model. Love this this angled block work over here. Kind of going out to the wings. Pretty sturdy looking as well. And then you've got a fairly good size interior area for being this kind of ship as well. Just looking at some of the stuff here. I'm trying to figure out what I'm looking at there. Yeah, okay, that's just the block pipes there. It's just really cool. Yeah, I like that texture on there. It was kind of almost, I thought it was something like it's some other different part, but no, it's just those small pipe blocks with that vent texture on them. That looks good. I like that. I have to add that to my what I would possibly texture those kinds of pipes at when I occasionally use them. That's a good looking way to do it. So on the bottom here, I guess I can turn off the light for a second here, maybe. We'll keep it on. Yeah, it's just dark. It's not black though. It's not black. This is actually more almost kind of like a really dark bluish tone, I think. Interesting. Or maybe it's just the lighting effects in the atmosphere that are making it look that way too. I'm not sure yet. But it kind of, yeah, doesn't look black. So backside of this, here, we'll keep the light on. That looks cool too. I like how this is all set up here with these big like thruster areas there, or kind of looks like they'd be thruster areas, and little details like the texture lights on these tips out here. When you turn off the lights, you can see all these kind of shine through, which is a really cool look there. And I like the stance too on the back, how it sits, and the whole profile of it, everything I think looked really cool as well. Let me just go around the bottom one more time, and then we'll get a board here. Do have a spotlight there, some tank block work there, or something like that. Some vents. Yep, very cool. All right, so I'm gonna turn off that. Let's adjust the lighting. We'll see how the interior is. I'll turn on I'll up the lights if it's too dark again. No, actually, it looks like the interior has been quite bright, which is really cool. Big contrast from the exterior, which is very stealthy. But then again, even the name of this would promote that, like the Inquisitor. Yeah, it just seems like it would be kind of like an assassin kind of ship. And really cool looking blockwork on the interior too. I like this side room here. We got a passenger seat. We got our bed, some shelves. Could even be like a bunk bed if you threw another one up there if you had to. Yeah, I like the table there. That's cool. We got on the other side. Oh, look at this. We got a full. We got a bathroom, like a real bathroom. Oh, look at the toilet. Oh, that's cool. We got mirror on the wall. Oh, interesting. That's cool. It's got a little counter shelf below that. You got like a sink over here, some kind of, I don't know, water thing for the sink. Let's hit that. Oh, oh, look at that! It's got like water. It fills up the bathtub, and it's got the nozzle thing right over there. Wow, these Inquisitors got quite the flying pad going on here. Access lock. Yep. Wow, there's a lot of side rooms. Wow, we got a second bedroom. Where does this go? Oh man, there's more ship over here. I didn't realize that. Okay. Yeah, that's cool too. I like the bed and look at all the different colors in here. You got the wood grains and the gray and this tan and more of a dark ceiling. That's cool. That's cool. So let's walk out this way here. So this is a lot of parts. We got thruster access over there, our pentaxa tank. It looks like a storage box back here too. Our warp drive. More thruster access there. CPU area. Wow, that's just kind of fit in there. So we've got here. Let me get in God mode so I can do that. Oh, gravity generator over there. So grav and CPU block areas. Out on this side, I believe this is all going to be asymmetrical. Let's go to the other side. Yeah, we got more parts, but completely different setup over here. That's cool. Detector over there. Another box. Thruster access. And we do have some CPU blocks installed over here as well as our main core on this side. That's cool. The interior feels so neat though. It just, again, the scaling and everything is proper. It feels good. It looks nice. A lot of attention to detail in here. I love all these countertop surfaces and things going on in here. Check that out. So we got another X over here. What is this X? I got to figure out what X is. I know it's a letter, but beyond that, I got to figure out what part is X. Because I've seen it on 2 builds already, and I don't know. I could have read the sign on the other one on the other build though. We got a hatch. Yep. Okay, so we got to get a quick way in and out from the top side over here. So like a drone hatch or just a player hatch, whatever you want to use for it. And FP. Oh man, I don't want to con. So that would be a constructor. I'm having a brain fart on the FP right now. That is my bad there. And I'm going to get up into the cockpit area here. It looks like a 4-seater. So we got our pilot seat, a co-pilot seat, a couple passenger seats, got an armor locker, and O2 up here as well. And of course, we already noted that it's kind of like a double layer of glass on the front, so more hit points than you would normally get with those glass blocks there. Yeah, really, really cool build again. I just like these immersive builds like that. That's just they feel good, you know. Walking through them, they feel like a real ship, which is really, really cool. All right, well, let's get some lights on here. This thing's just gonna disappear in the dark here. Oh, even in broad daylight, it's gonna disappear, isn't it? Yeah, it's all about being stealth. That is for sure. All right, so unlock level 15, size class 3, 29 forward, 29 strafing, 57 lift, 29 reverse, and 29 down. 8 fuel tanks, 8 oxygen tanks. It does have a detector. No guns installed on here, currently at least. 1 hour and 51 minute build time. Kind of looking like this is going to be another Core 7 if I were to guess. Let's see in CPU here. Really low on CPU. Look at that. 8960. It's only using out of 13,000. Which is, I'll sort that just to be safe, is a Core 4. So I said Core 7. No, this is just a Core 4. 1 basic, 2 improved cores. Does not have a shield stock. One thing I wanted to check here, I did have a warp drive. We did see that. There's only 1 person, so I don't even know why I'm checking that. Yeah, it did have a warp drive. Doesn't have a shield stock. Excuse me. Has room for it, though. Yeah, very, very cool build here. As in guns and things, too. Obviously, we've got some placeholder antennas and stuff over here, so it looks like you were definitely meant to add some launcher-style weaponry to this build. Same thing goes on with the 4 up front over here. So you could kind of pack that in with some guns, and I just wanted to see if it had like a... Kind of looks like this would be a location here to add a turret there as well. Could have another one of those on the bottom side easily, I think. Yeah, I think probably right there, I bet you also would be a turret. If you wanted to upgrade it and do some combat with it and things like that. Yeah, very, very cool build, though. Yeah, and it kind of goes, yeah, these two kind of fit together in there. And they're different, you know, different factions going on here in the Star Wars verse, but very, very cool. Very, very cool stuff here. Let's look at storage. So we got an ammo storage at 11K, it looks like. Some cargo boxes. We got these controllers over here. So we got 11K. Looks like well, that's right around 11Ks. So about 33K of storage beyond some sort boxes and another 11K for ammo. And it's even got like raw meat and fridge products going on in here. Very, very cool. So again, this is the Tai Inquisitor by Braganator. Very cool build. Love the layout and how it looks. And I know I really wish the lighting was better in the game because we could see it in the dark a little bit better then. But yeah, broad daylight is still like it's dark. It's dark. It's a lighting thing with the game. It's not the ship. It'd be nice to be able to build dark colored ships as well. But yeah, very, very cool. All right, so what do we got on the next build here? I'm gonna jolt off here before we look at some other ships parked over here. And this is a little unusual for me. Most weeks I will only show one build by one specific author. If they put out more things that week, I usually will just show the one. In this case, it's a little different scenario. So there's one author that released a whole bunch of POIs for the game. These are a little bit different can of worms. And I usually won't fly through these POIs much because I don't want to give away secrets or details or anything like that. Well, we'll start with this one here. This is the, I got this right. Let me get my HUD on, make sure I'm looking at the right one. Okay, so this is the BCP Acolyte Depot. And this is one of 3 that I just wanted to kind of take a quick look at in here by the same author. And again, POIs, I really dig looking at builders that are doing the POI thing. I mean, they don't get a lot of popularity on the workshop or anything for that or whatnot because they're not player usable creations. But if they get added into the scenarios or the main game, they are adding content for all of us. Really cool content at that. So I definitely like to emphasize these POIs. It's a lot of work, a lot of testing, and not much reward for it. So yeah, I just definitely want to check this out. And again, this is one of 3. Now, I did have trouble spawning this. I tried to find some of the flattest areas on this planet I could possibly find, and that ain't good enough yet. So you see all this block work down here. When this spawns in game, this would all be invisible, and it would flatten out the terrain, and you wouldn't have this problem. In fact, that's why I kind of got some of it where you can see like the ground over this, and this is what it would look like more in game here, and not this. That's all part of the setup on this POI, because not only does this POI have pretty massive top area to it, it's also got a massive underground area to it. So I mean, even the more work and detail. And I love this. Again, this kind of fits with that Star Wars theme too. This is kind of like something that you would think would be on like Tatooine or something like that. Looks really cool. Like all the detail and all these individual parts and things like that. And obviously there's spawners going around here and whatnot too. Yeah, and this looks like a pretty in-depth POI. I'll briefly glance on the bottom side of it too. Yeah, and this is one way to spawn people. I did that with one POI I did in the Bass too. You kind of flip them upside down and then they'll spawn correctly there. It's kind of a trick if you're building POIs to get them to spawn better often. And there's just so much stuff going on here. This is like a huge compound. Again, it's detracting seeing this, but you wouldn't see this in game. It would, be your standard terrain materials down there. You got a bombs depot. I have spawners all over the place. This looks like it would be a fun one to run. It really does. It's pretty wide open. Like you do it how you want to do it, kind of POI. And more tactical. It would kind of remind me of like if you're playing like a game like Far Cry or something, like taking out a enemy outpost kind of thing. You just kind of use a little more strategy in your way to go about it rather than just kind of following a course, which is really cool. And there's so many buildings and structures in here too. Again, I don't want to give away too much, but there's a big course there. But just to show you, quick fly underground here. Now this is probably not going to draw on right. Well, it kind of is. Kind of is. You can see that the whole underside of this thing is massive. It's got a lot of stuff going on down here. In fact, if we can see how big this actual POI is, and this whole bottom is all stuff, all crafted areas, all rooms and corridors and hallways and you name it. So I mean, this is a massive POI too. I mean, not like a quickie. Yeah, but again, I don't want to give away anything. But look at this, even the style changes down over here into yeah, this kind of thing. You can see this stuff shooting at you all over the place, but that's what POIs are for. Yeah, it's just so cool. And this is like a big mall plaza in here. I mean, it's just seeing this kind of stuff is just really, really cool to see. A lot of work on these builds. So again, I don't want to try to give away anything or what you're supposed to do or where you're supposed to go when you get here, but just let it be known it's gigantic, and most of it's underground. So whatever's, even though the top area is pretty massive in itself, yeah, just a big POI. So if you want to, I really hope this gets in, if it's not already, into like RE, or I'd love to see this kind of stuff even added into the vanilla game, or any versions of the game, really. More content is better, always better. So yeah, really, really cool one on this one. And then let's briefly look at two others by the same author. And there's more. I think there was a couple more yet that the author released. And again, these are pretty big. Just to look at general specs of this one. Size class 26. So yeah, it's no joke of a POI. And this one would directly fit with the other one over there. Different layout, different size. This one, oh wow, is that an arena? Kind of almost looks like it could be some kind of battle arena in there. I don't think that's the case. It's more of a landing area. But yeah, really cool. More buildings. And this one, just like the other one, massive underground areas going on in here. Again, this POI is not as big as the last one we just looked at, but it's still pretty good sized. Really cool architecture. I like all these roundy buildings and stuff. Again, it really fits in that that Star Wars desert theme kind of thing. Spaceport, yeah. So the name of this one, let me get my HUD on, make sure I get the names right. Yeah, this is the Broughton, if I said that correctly, Spaceport. Very, very cool. Very cool. Didn't look at it too much. I just wanted to make sure that everybody knows about these POIs and get them in your scenarios, because yeah, authors like this, community really appreciates all this hard work to do this kind of thing, and it adds so much content to the game too. I personally like to check out POIs when I'm playing the game, different ones, and just see how they are and stuff. And yeah, both these look like they'd be a really good romp. But that ain't it, because here's another one. And this is the Victoria Outpost, or the BCP Victoria Outpost, by the same author. And this one, obviously, now this one I really had trouble trying to spawn it in. I was trying to like line it up and push this underground. Again, just like the other POIs, this would be the ground here, so you won't see these blocks, and it would flatten out that whole area. But this one, I mean, really cool looking top side to it. If I would have put it in the ground, it would have screwed this up so you couldn't see it, basically, being a creative that I am. But yeah, like this almost looks like a really high-tech, like, I don't know, medical center or something like that. But no, it's a spaceport, obviously. Looks really cool. I love this this walkway going across there. That is cool looking. And yeah, obviously there's a bunch of interior space. You can see the spawners in there. But this one, even more so than the last two that we looked at, look at the underground size to this one. This would all be below ground. And it is just stacked. The whole area is stuffed. Rooms and places and you name it. Just sprawling POIs here. like really sink your teeth into these, which is yeah, I really want to run these. I want to play these POIs and see how they go. All kinds of stuff. We got the switches, and we got vents. There's all kinds of stuff in here. I have no idea, you know, the course or how they all run or what it's actually spawning in here, but just again, it's a big POI, especially with all this underground stuff going on in there too. That's pretty thick there. There's probably multiple floors of underground stuff going on in here, and big underground areas too. So again, yeah, I just wanted to show these three POIs, and there's a couple more. I might try to look at those in a future episode too, because I really like to show off POIs made for the game by authors. It's just making the game better for everybody, and it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. So again, these three, no point really on looking at the stats. They're all big POIs that all look incredible. Even like this spaceport, different theme. This looks amazing the way this is set up, though. I like how it kind of goes above ground and then it kind of dips below ground. And obviously, again, if it was spawned into the game as a POI, it would look appropriate, and this would be our ground height right here, and then it would go pretty far underground beyond that. So that's neat. That's neat. All right, so moving on. This is the one when I at the start of the video I said I try to bring in a creation, and it specifically this creation, which is the WHU Eclipse Raider by Wushaba, if I said that correctly. It did specifically say that it was built for Reforge Eden Atlantis. Now, I don't have Reforge Eden Atlantis at the time, but I thought I would just see what would happen if I tried to spawn it in RE2 anyway. And this is the results. Basically, it's missing all the blocks. So, sorry about that. And that's why I'm going to have to re-show this I'll have to get that scenario and try to show this properly on the next week's video. So, I apologize for that. No point even looking at what spawned in here. I never seen this, but I've taken in other builds built for other scenarios before, and you know, sometimes it would be missing something, but in this case, I was really flabbergasted that it was like, I think, like missing like pretty much all the blocks, but there's a couple blocks that are still in here, but the rest of them just vanished. So I don't know much about Reforge Eden Atlantis at all, actually. So I might have to investigate that a little bit. So no point on looking at this one. I'll kind of skip by this one this week. We'll see it again next week. Well, we'll see it a whole lot better next week. So this is just not built for RE2 here, and yeah, really have time to get all that other stuff going here today. So the next build beyond that, make sure I'm looking at the right name here. Yeah, this is the Mhi Hato by Mostly Harmless, and it's a pretty interesting build here. It's a little I couldn't get it to land. So I didn't see any landing gear on it, and for whatever reason, rather than sitting flat, it decided to be kind of wonky. I'll try it again in a second here, but this is pretty cool, interesting build here. It's like a platform sled, or you would park something here, and I believe you would transport vehicles in or whatever fits here to another location. And it's got some utility function built into it too, but it's kind of like a flying sled that kind of looks like it would be more from the Star Trek verse, kind of like nacelle type of setups on the side here. Pretty interesting creation though. You got a ramp up here so you can drive up like a HV or whatever on here, and then it does have a little bit of interior space as well. We could hop in here. You got a med bay, and then you can get into a pilot seat. It does have storage controllers in here as well. Obviously, we've seen the warp drive on this one cell on this side, if that's what they are. They look really cool though. I like this look. It has this here too, which just kind of goes right through to the bottom. Don't exactly know what that's for, but it's kind of cool. And we got our fuel tanks, oxygen tanks. It's got other stuff. It's got a built-in like constructor or advanced constructor over here as well. So it's just a really unique build. I think I found this off. Well, no, I think this was on the main spotlight this week. But yeah, really interesting build. Again, it kind of the closest thing I ever built to this, I built some kind of weird scar creation a long time ago that was meant to move like HV tanks around. It was an SV that moved HVs. And that's kind of what's going on here too, except this is a CV. So yeah, we got a Pentax tank under the glass over there. It's a really unique build here, definitely. I am curious though. I don't know what it does for like storage and other things and its specs at all. So let's take a look at that. So unlock level 12, size class 0.5, pretty much. 19 forward, 9 strafing, 37 lift, 19 reverse, 19 down, 6 fuel tanks, 2 oxygen tanks, a detector, 44 minute and 58 second build time. Looks pretty inexpensive. Not using anything special. Here's CPU wise. It's a CV, so it's got your basic starter block, basically your core, but it's only using a little bit of that. It's got a lot more extra CPU left over even at that. So definitely, it's a core 1 can be considered as. Let me sort this a second. We already know we did have a warp drive. I just want to see. Okay, standard warp drive, so that'll be 30 light year. No shield on here. Again, it's a utility transport type of ship here. Transport of other creations, basically. Probably tanks. I think just by the ramp and everything, it looks like it would be mostly designed for tanks, but you could park small CVs or HVs, or, well, SVs, I meant, on here as well. Didn't have any guns, I don't think, either. Nope. Storage. Let's see. Oh, yeah. So we've got a 320K storage controller. And then we got our Pentax tank, which would be for that warp drive in there. And yeah, it's just to the point. It's a utility creation to, I believe, transport things probably from space down to the surface, or vice versa. Yeah, it's cool. I like seeing these ideas. Now, the weird thing, and this isn't a fault of the build at all, but it's like something's weird with like if I hop in here and I fly this around a little bit and I'll level it off and I go to land, for some reason it does this where it's like it won't go all the way to the ground. I don't see any landing gear on it, and it's just kind of weird, and it starts angling to one side. I don't know why that is. I think that's a bug in the game. Doesn't make any sense to me because I figured this should land flat here. There's no obstructions on the surface here to cause it to like see a fake block or something. So it's just weird. I'm not sure why that is. Probably in gameplay it probably wouldn't have that same problem, and no problem actually driving an HV tank up that, even if there was a gap. That's no big deal whatsoever. It's just I just can't figure out why it's doing this. I've been using this platform for a long time. It's flat. It's as flat as can be. And yeah, most builds don't do this, and I don't know why this one's having or having this issue. And I gotta think it's some kind of bug in the game. I mean, I can't think of any explanation. I don't see anything wrong. I don't see any small blocks or anything like coming down from the bottom here that would cause it to be crooked or anything like that, or not go all the way to the ground. So it just doesn't make any sense to me. So with that, but again, it's no fault of the altar because it looks like it would totally work and land flat on the ground, totally fine. But for some reason, at least in my test here, it's just not doing it. I couldn't tell you why. Couldn't even give the author any advice on what to do about it. I would have no idea myself, actually. So anyway, very, very cool build here again. This is, again, the Mhi Hato by Mostly Harmless. Very, very cool. All right, so next build. Let me get this one powered up. So here we have, if I can say this correctly, the Kuvera-class cutter Re2 by Jagerleo, or Jaegerleo. So this is an author I'm unfamiliar with too. I found this in new releases, by the way, too. I thought this looked pretty cool. Interesting looking. This is a CB. It looks like it would be combat oriented. It's got a really cool looking style to it. It's pretty wide, but kind of like big wing enclosures. This part over here kind of reminds me, even the color reminds me a little bit of like hitting into the Star Trek verse again, more of like a Klingon-based creation or something like that. I'm just taking wild stabbing guesses. I don't know if there was anything to do with that with this build or not, or it's just complete creativity by the author. But really cool looking build here. I like this this bridge. I like how these areas here kind of poke out like a separate part, and then it goes to like a separate like wing enclosure, and then it gets to this big like, well, kind of thrusters and weapons on the side there. And this part here really reminds me of like what you'd see on like a Klingon bird of prey kind of ship. And the whole ship kind of looks like it would kind of fit with that. It's a little different, but yeah, really cool. And it's kind of got this long section in the middle going back there. I'm curious what's going on with that with the inside of the ship. But yeah, definitely cool there. Yeah, that's neat. Let's see what the bottom side looks like. I like all the texture work and everything too. There's different colors, a lot of detail in the texturing, going from the whites to the greens to some of this this oddball kind of camouflage texture in the game. But it looks good on this build. And then yeah, and I love the looks of these side pieces here too. A lot of detail into that as well. Let's get a top-down look on this one. Yeah, that's neat. Looks like, you know, a kind of ship you'd see in some I don't know, arcadey game too. You know, back in the day, like a Defender kind of game or some kind of game like that. Yeah, just very cool looking ship here. I like its stance as well. All right, so I do want to figure out though, where should I board the ship at here? Let's look around a little bit. Kind of looking for a door off the top, but let's check the bottom side here too. Kind of looks like that's, oh, right here, I bet. Yeah, oh, look at that. Sends on a ramp too. Oh, I got this off the ground right now. Well, that's all right. Here, let's get up here. I'm going to get out of God mode, and let's adjust the lighting to walk on the inside here. See if I got my lighting adjusted right or not. And if you don't know why I do the lighting thing, light dramatically changes the look of something, especially when you're going on the inside of it. You're looking at these rooms and stuff. If it was all bright and without the lighting, no matter how good of a job the author did on the block work and everything else, it's going to look not very good. The lighting adds in such a element to it that I typically always try to walk these creations, especially on the interior, with the lights turned down, so you can see all the lighting effects and stuff, which can dramatically change the way something looks. That's why I do it. However, I believe, especially on the planet's surface, the lighting just gets way too dark at night, and the lights aren't, just, yeah, too dark. Like when you see pure black, like straight up no pixels are on the monitor, like what I'm seeing now, it's just too dark. It's just too dark for any game. It's never going to look good. Unless it's a really spooky, creepy game that's supposed to be flashlight driven, and yeah, but other than that, it usually doesn't look good. Yeah, cool looking bridge here. I like where the core placement is. I like the oh, that's yeah, that's a heavy glass in front of that, kind of one of the round pieces there. So we got a lot of stuff in here. So we got our food processor, got kind of a table to eat, a bunk bed, armor locker right on that side, right up obviously to the cockpit area, the bridge area. Got the fridge, shower, coming down in here, a storage controller. You see some of these textures here are cargo extensions. That's where we came in at. So yeah, right to the point on the inside too. I mean, this is it. I think this is it for your interior space going on in here. I'm kind of curious on what kind of specs and parts does this have in it. Get the lights back on. And let's take a look at some numbers. So unlock level 15, size class 1. 33 forward, 18 strafing, 33 lift, 33 reverse, 21 down, 4 fuel tanks, 2 oxygen tanks. Got 4 ship cannons, light versions on there, 3 sentry guns. 2 hour and 41 minute build time. Again, not needing too much. It looks like it's running some plasma thrusters on here. But yeah, really quite inexpensive. CPU wise, sitting at, yeah, that's like a Core 1. Well, it's actually set higher, but it's only using just under 200,000. So this would be actually like your main core only, but it does have additional CPU blocks in it. So I think it could be a Core 1, but it's set for Core 3. Yeah, 1 basic and improved in there. But yeah, CPU wise, it's I think one basic or well, just your main core will bring it to 200,000. I'm getting this right? Yeah, this is CV. For some reason I was like, am I screwing this up? Is this actually an SV? And no, it's definitely a CV. Definitely a CV. So, all right, storage. Let's get there. And so we got an ammo controller at 56K. Container controller at 116K. Beyond that, we got a harvest controller at 56K as well, and then we got a fridge and our pentaxi tank. One thing I want to check is on some other parts in here. Just want to check out warp drive and shield. So we do have a warp drive, 30 light year warp. No, yeah, 30 light year warp drive. Do have a shield in here. Stock shield hit points 15,163. We got some signal lights. Got a HUD. Let's check out the HUD. I think is that LCD in front there. Yeah, I think so. It's more of a like a targeting crosshair kind of thing. Yeah, very cool build. Yeah, I definitely like the looks. And I don't know if I'm correct at all in relating this in any form to Klingon. But it just, you know, certain elements to it, like this part here, that kind of just really remind me of Klingon. So, other than that, that's all I've got for this week. And I wanted to take a little bit of time to talk about a future episode of this. Look at the workshop. And what I wanted to do is I'm getting awfully close to episode 200. A few episodes away yet, but I wanted to start throwing it out there, and I'll do it again on next week's video and the week after that, is I kind of wanted episode 200 to be a little bit different. This was actually brought up in a comment as well, and it got me thinking a little bit about doing something special for episode 200. And my idea would be to kind of, what I want is people, when you comment on the next couple of videos, you know, that I put out for the next probably month or so. I think it's about 4 more episodes to go, or 3 or 4 before I hit 200, is to put in like in comments, like if there's a creation you would like to see on the Steam Workshop from any period of time, any version of the game, that you feel is a really good build, really whether it's a functional build, whether it's just a really pretty build, just, you know, high quality, a lot of tender love and care put into it. Could be any size, could be small, could be big. You know, just put it down. Put it down and try to get the name accurate in comments from how it's said in the Steam Workshop. And also, I would definitely like if you would add the author name in comments too. But basically, I'm going to try to get a list of all these people picking whatever creation they like for whatever reason on the workshop. Again, really try to steer towards high quality builds. So, I mean, things that you think are dazzlingly detailed or whatnot, you know, where a lot of time and effort were put into them, and you can tell by the authors or well, you can tell by how they look and their detail levels and all that. But I'm just looking for some interesting, really cool builds by any author, but any time frame, any version of the game. And then I would like to do kind of run with that and go over them on episode 200. So that's my present idea. If you got any modifications to my general idea, please let that be known as well too. I'm trying to keep it simple, so it's not like complicated. And I thought about like different categories, like, hey, what's your favorite ship for functional use? What's your favorite combat ship? What's your favorite blah 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 ship? But I was like, man, that's gonna get probably too complicated. So I'm a little worried about that. So now I'm just saying, yeah, really cool build, something high quality out in the workshop from any particular period of time, any version of the game, and that will be episode 200. And I might try to ramp up the creations shown on like episode 199 and 201 as well, just to so that particular week I wouldn't probably pick anything from the spotlight on that week, but I'll try to like make up for it with other episodes in the time frame, basically. So yeah, just something to keep in mind. I will talk about this on the next look at the workshop video as well, and make sure I do it at the beginning of the video so people will probably actually hear it. I don't know if a lot of people probably won't watch this part, so they probably won't know anything about it. So that was my bad there. I should have brought that up when I first started the video. Other than that, that is all for this week. There was another build by a really popular author that was up on the spotlight. I skipped it right now because it is for a challenge, and that challenge has not been done yet. It has not been viewed, so I didn't want to show it. And that's going to be on my list to show in probably the next one of these videos as well. So if you had something out there, you was like, why did you show that? That's why. It's because it's in the challenge, and the challenge hasn't run its course. It hasn't been shown in the challenge yet, so I don't want to like jump the gun and show it here first when I also actively are in most of those challenges myself too. So that just not cool. Other than that, y'all have yourself a wonderful weekend, and I will talk to you later.